Hey, everybody, and welcome back again to Wish You Were Beer. We're happy to have you. This is a weekly live beer review show where we check in new beers, try new beers, hopefully talk to some breweries, talk to some brewers, and figure out why the beer was made, why it wasn't made, and
what it smells like, what it tastes like, all of the things beer related. Also got to do trivia that teaches you about the beer itself, or sometimes I just throw in some like Mean Girls trivia. So it's kind of a wash, but it's all fun. If you are logged into YouTube, you can actually comment along with us. There is a slight delay, so we apologize. But we can see all of your comments, and you can actually play trivia with us. Tell us what you're drinking if you didn't get a chance to grab this beer, or if you have any suggestions for future beers. We're always open to that.
Also, down in the comment section or the about section on the page, you can go to our beer drop link. We get a lot of beer from Beer Drop. We also get some from Tavor, and every now and again we're just traveling around and pick up beer collectively. But if you click the Beer Drop or Tavor, you can follow along with us. You can get the same shipment as us. There's a discount involved with both of those. You can also follow us on Untappd, both on the show and our individual Untappd handles, so you can find out how early Tiffany and I have a beer or how early Phil has a beer. It's very entertaining.
How many beers we drank.
Correct.
None of these things should be tracked in any way, shape, or form.
But it is also our calendar is getting a little empty right now, so we do need some beer suggestions as well if anyone wants to send them our way.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you have a beer where you're from that is widely distributed, or you find out it is distributed in our individual states, which are Virginia and California, please send us some suggestions.
Or if you just want to make them magically appear in our state.
That's doable as well, but that would be asking a stranger to have my address, which you already have my address, and that's scary enough.
No. It's a P.O. box that I've given you for me.
Yeah. Oh, a P.O. box. That's a legit business. So all things being equal, thank you guys for joining us. Again, if you need any information about the show, would like to share it, would like to subscribe, obviously it's down in the bottom. Other than that, I'm Daniel. This gorgeous woman next to me is Tiffany. The hostage on the other side of the screen is Phil. Phil,
she gets gorgeous. I get hostage. That makes sense.
Right. Are you still in California, I assume?
I don't know anymore. I haven't left this void in weeks.
Well, you live in that void now.
That is a void.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, someone's got to do these graphics. So I don't leave this chair ever.
And for the record, for some of you who have been following us for a while, that was a new intro.
Yeah.
Phil spent a lot of time on that.
Much time.
Big day for him.
A big budget,
Budget.
There's been so many beer drop signups. I had a chance to really pay for that one.
Finally dug in.
Yeah.
Love it.
But so new intro. Thanks, Phil. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. It's like way better. So
it's just odd to me.
It's better than just a still frame with some text on it.
True.
The bar was low, and you nailed it. You are way over where we thought it was going to be.
I was just impressed you had the camera speed to film yourself peeing in that glass for that long. That's impressive.
Well, I actually will say I can't take credit for the new opening that was done by Bert Brown, who is my brother, but under my management. So
Hold on. I'm sorry. I've known your brother for years. His first name is Bert?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a game changer.
It really is. He lives with Ernie. But yeah, so he worked on that new opening for us, which I'm very excited about.
Nice.
Tell him I say thank you.
I will.
Just me, not Daniel.
Tell him I said check his DMs. That'll be thanks enough.
He's already got you blocked, Daniel.
No wonder he hasn't been responding.
Makes sense. Good sense.
So how have you two been?
Any better, I'd be you, man. Honestly.
Yeah, because I live in a void and I'm a hostage. So
sounds great. Zero responsibility, no worries. 3 square meals a day.
It's a good deal.
Yeah. It is a good deal. Now we've been well, man. Honestly, like work like always. But Thursday comes around and here we are.
You guys didn't get any of the hurricane that hit New York, did you?
No.
Well,
we got like a weird windstorm and like a thunderstorm, but no.
And some like weird like torrential downpours for like 30 seconds to a minute. It wasn't.
It was very strange.
Yeah, like it was like sunny, and then all of a sudden it was dark and just sheets of rain, and then it was sunny again.
Yeah.
And then of course, because it was sunny and it had just poured half an inch, it was muggy. So like you walk outside and it like the humidity hits you in the face.
Correct. You know the scene of Dorothy where she's like, the house is spinning.
I watch it every night
for 5 seconds, and then everybody was all Toto after that, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Well, my storage pod is still in New York City, and I'm not sure if any of my stuff is still dry. So
that sounds like the greatest club ever, Phil's Storage Pod in New York City.
And it's very wet.
That
makes sense.
Sorry.
Nope.
Good news, you finally got your Beatles autographed photo, but was actually the animals, I assume. I don't know. What are we looking at?
Am I doing it right? Is it on this side?
Yeah, you're the best weatherman ever.
I got it. I don't know what that is, but it added to gave me some framework. If anyone can say what it is.
Room Raider says 3 out of 10 now. Good job.
All right.
Well,
let's do some things here.
Let's drink some beer.
Yeah. So
I like that idea.
What's going on this week, guys? What are we doing?
Are we doing something?
Yeah, I just show up here.
Oh.
That's not the show beer.
We have guests for the first time in like a few weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we put more effort into it.
They saw our John Mallett interview.
Right. I don't know what happened, but the stars aligned, and we have Odyssey Beerwerks here with us to talk about the beer that we've got, which is Ghost Drifter.
Correct. I think it's a pale ale.
It is. It's an American pale ale.
American, good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
If you guys had to guess where Odyssey was out of, where would we say?
Well, since we got it from Beer Drop, I'm going to go with Colorado.
Yep.
Killer.
Look at you.
It's a wild guess.
It's a big day for you. So not only to make an intro, but you got that.
Can't wait for trivia. Gonna nail it.
I know. It's gonna be a shit show.
All right. Well, they're here.
People have had enough talking to us. Let's bring them in.
Let's do it.
We've got Tina and Chris.
Hello.
Chris.
How are y'all?
We're doing good.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Any better? I'd be in your brewery. There's like 3 tanks behind you, and that looks amazing.
Well, if we're shouting or doing this,
yeah, it's loud in there.
Because it's vinyl night in the tap room tonight, and so things get loud.
What the hell is vinyl night? That sounds like the most exciting thing ever.
Yeah, vinyl night's fun.
We have a record player we set up. If you bring in your record, you can get a beer for free if we play it. So it has to be a good one. It can't suck, or else you won't get played.
Yeah, we couldn't do this.
No evil shit in here. Yeah. Right, agreed.
we
How did you come up with that?
Louder as it goes.
Yeah.
I love that.
That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah. So, how long you guys been in the game?
Nope.
No. Oh no. I'm sorry. Right to trivia.
How long have we been in the game? How long have we been open, or how long have I been drinking craft beer? Or
that's a way better question.
Right. How did you get into craft beer?
It's a story as old as time. I was a
corporate
drone. I was a high-level executive at a very large corporation. Wore a suit and tie and all that fun stuff every day, and basically killed my soul. I did that for a dozen years or so. I grew up in Fort Collins, so I'm old enough. I was around for the dawn of New Belgium and Odell and all the guys that were doing really cool stuff back then.
Oh, you can go wild. It's a beer show.
This is gonna be a much more interesting interview then. But yeah, so I was working at a bar when New Belgium came out, a college bar up in Fort Collins, and it's the first time I realized, holy crap, there's people out there that do this for a living that aren't Budweiser and Coors and those. And yeah, it was kind of that was the glory point for me. Like, holy crap, I can make my own beer. Fast forward 15 years, and I started doing it for a living.
So my question is always the same with beer folks. So when you realized you could make your own beer, what was the point at which you left an actual consistent job to go make beer? That's a terrifying thought for me.
I started home brewing, and we drank a lot of beer. We always say 91, 92. So this is 30 years ago. So give me a little bit of a break there. But
I have my feelings. Yeah.
But
planned...
our point of doing this for real was I did work my way quite a way up the corporate ladder in my position, and I did marketing. And when we opened our business, we had a partner who was an engineer.
Yeah.
Dina also does marketing, and his wife, our former partner's wife, did accounting stuff. And we just thought, we've all got lots of experience in divergent fields doing some, high-level stuff. Why don't we apply that to the beer industry? That sounds a lot more fun. So that's what we did.
I dig it.
You're living my dream. So. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think we were all successful in our respective fields, but I think we're all a little bit dead on the inside. This is a lot more fun.
Fair.
I always like to ask, what was your first homebrew beer that you made?
Okay.
Brown ale, right?
Do you guys have a poll you can ask the audience? Because I'd like to know.
That's later.
What was everybody's first homebrew? I'm guessing it was a brown or an amber.
That's what I just said. It's a
first homebrew was a brown or an amber. And you know why? Because it tastes like beer.
Right. And you can't screw it up. No matter what you throw
it. Exactly.
You can't screw it up. Don't get me wrong.
We screwed it up.
We did.
We screwed it up. It was not good. It was basically brown water.
We put too much bourbon in it.
No, I don't know what happened. We left someone else in charge, and it was their group brew, and I didn't manage it well.
You know what? But you did it. You made it. We laugh all the time. All the beers that we brewed. When you're hanging out with your friends, all your beer is good, right?
Right.
Depends on how many you have.
There's two kinds.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the saying. There's two kinds of beer. There's warm and there's cold, but the best is free.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of was the mid '90s for me. We brewed a lot of beer and made a lot of friends.
It sounds like the mid '90s for music for me. Yeah, it's cold, warm, whatever. It's all crap.
Yeah.
The 90s, I think you're talking about the wrong era. The 90s were my jam for music.
Here's my question then, and I ask every brewer this that I ever talk to, who's actually like a home brewer, not just an owner, like you actually brewed beer. What's the worst beer you've ever made?
Professionally or personally?
I prefer personally, because professionally.
I mean, personally, we did. I think everybody goes through this phase where you're like, oh, well, if these 2 hops are good, then we'll do 3 hops. And if 3 hops are good, 7's got to be like the best beer ever.
Please, get over it.
And we did one of those kind of kitchen sink beers with a bunch of hops that we had laying around.
You did a prison wine beer.
And we got, and apparently we had a lot of Citra, and I can't remember what the other one would have been, but what's the off flavor technical term for cat pee? Everybody knows when you use cat pee. And so there's a certain segment of people that probably think that's the best beer I ever made.
Oh, Jesus.
On the other hand, I was like, oh no, like what happened to this beer? Something dreadfully wrong happened. That was probably early mid '90s.
But you said it's free. I'll have another.
Oh no, I did not. I gave it to all my other friends. I went, I've got 6 other homebrews that I'll be drinking instead of that. But yeah, it was a hop smorgasbord that the hops did not play well together. I'll say it.
Please create a beer called Hop Smorgasbord now. I think that's just a great name for a beer.
It's probably taken. I'll check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Got it.
We're trying to get 2 beer Tiffany to be a beer and Hop Smorgasbord now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole goal of the show now.
We'll see who beats the other breweries to the punch.
Yes. Good luck finding names that haven't been claimed
Yeah,
yet.
that's tough.
That's
Oh,
fun.
Jesus, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
It's I had that conversation with Melissa, who's a Stone rep, and then there was because those are all like huge beers, and she's like, we have a beer named the same thing, but they marketed it a little bit differently. I think that's okay. I'm just gonna.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally we don't worry too much about it if it's something we're not packaging. If we're just gonna have it in the tap room, if we're packaging it, we do a little more research.
Ooh,
Sure.
yeah,
Especially in Colorado,
We
we
do a
only
lot
distribute
more
them.
research.
Yeah, we do, but yeah, you do
What-
have to be careful
What's your favorite name for a beer that you've got on tap right now?
that we have on tap.
Yeah, do you guys get creative with your names, or are they pretty
We
standard?
try, we do. Well, the one that just came out last week is an IPL, an India Pale Lager.
That's a pretty good.
And yeah, it ended up coming out at 6.66 ABV. So we're trying to think of something devil related, and we're brainstorming. And one of our brewers said, well, when Bob Ross used to clean his brushes, he'd say he beat the devil out of them. So we ended up drink the devil out of it, and it's got like a little Bob Ross type of homage to him. So that's probably my favorite name right now.
I don't know.
That's a good one.
We did one. It was last year, but it was for those about to bach. So here, the best part of that story is we didn't even realize it at the time. So we changed our beer boards, and so we put for those about to bach, and then we have a barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout that was already
Right
on tap.
underneath.
Right below it, it's called Salute, and so
We salute you.
Yeah.
Out of here.
about to bach, we salute.
Salute.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny.
That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I
naming
forgot about that one.
convention.
Sometimes fate plays a game, and
Yeah.
it's so beautiful. I
Yep.
love it.
That's funny.
Yep.
Well, is there anything that you guys want to talk about before we jump into trivia, or reserve that for the end?
Because
of
the
your last
trivia
pitch?
game gets intense.
Oh no, it's not that intense. Let's not. Don't play up my part just because you want to make me nervous. That's
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah, we just had one of probably our most famous beer that we do is called the Fluffy Pumpkin.
I'll call it infamous.
Infamous, famous, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
The Fluffy Pumpkin is a toasted marshmallow pumpkin porter, and we've been doing it ever since we opened.
Yeah, 8
It's
years.
kind of got a cult following, and
8 years. They opened 8 years ago.
Oh, sorry.
who can do math? Who can do math?
Barrow.
That just came out a couple weeks ago, so we'll have that through the fall. It's a great beer. It's a little different because you get a ton of pumpkin beers coming out, but they're usually a brown or an amber, and ours is a porter, and it's pretty tasty. And
That's
we have
the
a whole
one that-
series now.
That's the beer that probably gets the most national attention.
Yeah.
If you like pumpkin beers,
Yeah.
it's a great pumpkin beer. So yeah, it's
Have you
fantastic.
met Tiffany? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am basic. I've already been to Starbucks now that Pumpkin has been.
PSL lock your.
Yep.
He got the latte. I just got anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But we're very basic. We like Pumpkin.
It's good because it's really well balanced. It's not overly spiced, and I think it's a good beer.
Well, my theory on
If it's a beer or a formulation that you've had for multiple years, do you change any variation of it year to year? Is it different year to year, or is it pretty tight?
I'd say
Pretty much the same, but it's some few
I'd
tweaks
say
here and
tweaks.
there.
You know, we learn like everybody else in every
Yeah.
job. We learn more every year. Like, okay, maybe we dial this
Yeah.
up, dial this down, substitute something. You know, our head brewer, Joe Braun, is amazing. He joined us about a year ago, and he brought 15 years of professional experience, including formal training at Siebel. He brewed with some breweries over in Germany for a while. So let's say the guy knows his stuff. So I will say pretty much any suggestion he gives, there's probably
We're
a
gonna go with it.
98% chance that we're going to say, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
We're on board.
That's always good.
He's like, just throw a smorgasbord of hops in there. It'll all be
At that
fine.
point, we're like, sorry, Joe, this is for you.
Joe's drunk, go home. If he says that,
Yeah, sorry, Joe's drunk. Time for you to go.
If you guys could just can label one beer for Phil, it says smorgasbord of suggestions.
I like that.
I'm gonna look that up when we're done
Yeah.
here.
I expect credit.
Yeah, we'll give you all the credit. I'm sure it's taken, but I'm gonna look it up anyway.
100%. It is taken,
Oh, yeah.
but so is Phil.
But
Whatever.
but you can spell it wrong. And then,
Right.
True.
There you go.
I probably would spell it wrong. I'm not really sure how to spell smorgasbord.
Honestly, if anyone on this show can smell
It ends with a T.
No.
There's a G in there somewhere in the Loomlot, so I think I've got it.
Sounds good.
Let's get into some history and facts.
Yeah, I wanna do this.
Yes, trivia.
All right, here we go.
My favorite sound clip.
That was very fancy.
Wow,
That was very fancy.
I would have dressed nice.
Imagine like the
Yeah.
Had I known we had like special effects and everything, I would have worn something else.
There's a lot more coming. I pulled some photos off of your Facebook, so one of them is very.
Back to MySpace.
Now,
That end well.
so this is the part of the show where we get into a little bit of like history, facts, trivia on the brewery, and it's always nice when we have somebody here to join us because they can actually answer the questions instead of Vero being right all the time, which is one of our longtime viewers, and she does a lot of research, so she may know this answer before y'all, surprisingly.
Okay.
All right, so question one, once again, if you are logged into YouTube, you can comment along with us. You can answer it. It is a way to be interactive instead of just watching us.
You'll be wrong, though.
Yeah, anyway. Okay, so question one, what year did Odyssey Beerwerks open their doors?
Sorry.
Listening. We'll see if it's listening.
2010, 2013, 2015, or 2017?
I seem to remember a very specific comment made by a gentleman who's involved in this brewery who said 8 years ago.
Yeah, but have you mathed that yet? It's been like 5 minutes.
I have so much time and I still can't figure it
He's
out.
over here counting. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, 2021 minus 8. Fuck this. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Vero will save me.
Oh, Vero's got
Obviously,
it.
it's B. Correct. Model applied.
So what was that? What was that first year you guys were open like? 2013.
I don't remember it. I mean,
Well, so I'll tell you what else
You
we
were
did.
sampling a lot.
oh yeah, we did a couple things
So
that year.
we got married. We sold a house in Texas, moved here, opened the brewery, bought a house here in Colorado. I mean, all that was in 6
Yeah.
months.
So
You know,
we
opened the business.
both quit our jobs.
That was crazy.
Started working here. Yeah. So the only thing we didn't do is have a child, but every other.
We can't do that in Texas anymore anyway.
We have our dog. She's down here.
Yeah, the first year was a whirlwind. I mean, it was. We signed our lease on December 31st of 2012. We opened our doors May 17th of 2013. So I still think we hold the record for fastest from concept and signing a lease to actually opening the doors. And we were a month later than we wanted to be because our boiler was such a pain in the ass.
But we spent a year before that doing research and figuring everything out. So it wasn't just those 6 months, but that was when we got the keys and when we opened.
You know, that saying, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that's opened any business ever understands
We
that.
don't know anything.
Exactly. Yep.
What do you mean we do this now? No, but that is actually a really fast turnaround, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of the breweries that we've talked to is like, a 5-year period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we wanted to get out of our other jobs, we wanted to get out now. When we made the decision, we were going for it. So
Fair.
For it. All right. So
True or false? 50-50. My favorite.
do you want to read it? Because I
Yes.
was about to do
The
that.
beer's name, Ghost Drifter, refers to the ghost of a traveler, parentheses, wanderer / transient drifter, who was killed years ago and haunts the hop fields. True or false? Honestly, I can't believe Jeopardy can't find a host. Did you just feel that same thing?
that was pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Chris.
They're still looking for hosts, I think. The last
Well,
so.
as soon as we find out who's done something wrong to anyone, correct.
He's not eligible.
I'm not eligible. Yeah.
All right.
So
I want this to be true because it's great, and then also I just don't think that Tiffany came up with this if it's not.
correct. Right. I think Tiffany's imagination is not this good.
No.
Right. So I am also going to go with true, but it's mainly because Pharaoh went true.
Oh, of course you did.
God.
Tokyo Drift, yeah.
Wait, yeah, hold on. False.
Joy's watching.
Tokyo Drift.
Joy said false.
So
Jay also says false. Joy.
Oh, we know Joy. Say hi, Joy.
hi, Joy.
All right. Is it
Well-
true or false?
So that's I will say it's kind of a trick question
It's true-ish.
because it's actually
You
the
son of a
story
bitch.
that we put together the first
Yeah.
time we put a label on this beer,
Okay.
but it was really just us
Well,
freelancing and being
We were drinking. It was a Friday.
yeah. It
well,
was
but
like
originally the beer name was
That's true.
Ghost Rider,
Okay.
like a rider.
Yeah,
And
Nick
Oh,
Cage
right.
kind of took that
Yeah.
one over.
So-
there was another beer with that name, and Chris is a big comic book fan, and our attorney advised us,
Yeah.
maybe we don't want to get sued by Marvel, so we
Right.
decided
so the
we
original,
changed it pretty early on to Ghost Drifter.
but the original concept, Ghost Rider, was more like the movie Pale Rider.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
American pale ale, so we wanted
Right.
a guy with a big duster and a hat,
Yeah.
and
Like a
all
Western.
that stuff, more of a
Yeah.
Western character.
Yeah.
But then that quickly got kiboshed once attorneys got
Yeah.
involved. So
Wait, you mean all your plans were ruined by attorneys?
yeah, pretty much. So
Weird.
yeah, we were like, we already had the font picked out and kind of the look and feel. We're like, okay, Ghost
Yeah.
Drifter kind of has the same
Yeah.
feel, so we went with that instead. But
Nice.
but yeah, we did come up with that little storyline, and there's a couple of our other beers that have some pretty unique,
Yeah.
long-winded stories behind them that we've whittled down over the years. We're, as cute as and interesting as we thought they were, people reading it on the shelves probably aren't as
Yeah.
interested as we are.
Well, I would tend to disagree with you, but we also have a show about beer. But anytime we go anywhere, the more I can find out about a beer, like a story or something, I read the back of the label. I'm like, well, this is now more interesting than every other American Pale Ale on the show.
Well,
Yeah.
you should do a review on our Psycho Penguin and his escape from the mental institution in the Antarctic Zoo.
So you've met my ex-wife. Perfect. I'm glad you named a beer after her.
Inspiration, yeah.
Psycho Penguin is perfect.
He's not wrong.
You made Phil cry a little.
Well, that's normal. We've known each other a long time. Wait, so this is my favorite. So true name based on a false story?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a false
So
story.
it-
It's a fictional.
It's true on a
story.
fictional account. Yeah.
Fictional. But the what that was true.
All right.
For a great story.
What a great story.
All right, next question.
All right. So this is a little more generic. What's the difference between an American and an English pale ale?
One's American, one's English. Next question.
Great. Okay.
Next.
So when's the winner?
Right. Thank you.
So A, the hop varieties are different. B, there is a completely different malt used. C, they're actually the same. Or D, the American variety uses a 50-50 balanced recipe based on the malt and hops.
Honestly, if it's C, I quit this show. If we're exactly the same, I'm not interested.
So what's your
Show's over. C.
what's your answer?
We're waiting for the
Do you know?
answers to come in.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know the answer to this question.
I do, so I can answer this one.
Yeah, you did trivia, Hoss. We know you know the
I
answer
can
to
tell
it.
you, but I'm gonna make Chris answer it just in case.
No.
Actually, I'm going to make Tiffany answer it.
Thank you.
Oh.
All right.
Thank you.
I got. Hold on.
She has the answers
Let me
on a
pull up my
separate
notes.
computer. Look, all camera is a real thing.
Right, like, oh, I know this one.
Well, every Muddle of Bud, which is still my favorite username, and Vera are both going with A.
So we know it's A.
Well, Vera's normally wrong, so I'm going to go with D.
Okay, so D, Phil, you haven't answered.
I'm going with A as well.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it is A. So there are various types of hops. The ones that grow over in Europe and where England has their ability to pick them are much more floral and earthy. And the varieties that American pale ales typically use are much more like citrus based and kind of bright or piney. So that's usually the difference. In addition, England typically has a 50-50-ish balance between their malt and hops, and America is just a free-for-all.
So I wanted you to answer that. I want to expand on that a little bit.
Yes, please do.
That's perfect.
So the hops used, that's A is, yes, of the answers available, yeah, that was the right answer. But it's English pale ales usually are using noble hops. They come from different regions in Europe. It's Saaz, Tettnang. What am I missing? There's two others that are true noble hops that are, European noble hops. And there's a whole subset of almost noble hops and other things that Fuggles and things like that.
Why do they call them noble hops, Chris?
Because they're the originators.
Okay.
They're the ones that every beer style kind of originated from that. Okay. Unless you go back to Egypt, and then who knows what the hell they're
No one's going back to Egypt. I grew up in a religious household. We're not.
And then the other part
Egypt.
is the way the hops are used with the malts. I mean, you can use the same malts, but European or English pale ales are usually a better balance between bitterness and malt. And Americans, we love our bitterness, so we have,
Like my ex-husband.
Right,
What?
exactly. We have a lot of the same stories. Very bitter.
I was just working both X's and like 5. So yeah, I mean, A is right, but there's definitely they're definitely different styles, and it goes more than just the hops. But yeah,
fair. I appreciate that. So that's my favorite part about having people on, because we can recognize things to a certain degree, but having somebody on who's like, oh yeah, we're all big jokes. Like, let's not kid ourselves here. But to have somebody on who actually understands it is always my favorite thing. So thank you.
All right, that was question 3.
Whoa, question 3.
Can we open this now and start?
That means I get to open this beer.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna slowly sip on this while we get through like another question or two.
I mean, we technically have more than one question.
By the way, thank you for joining up with Beer Drop. It's actually how we ended up with your beer in our hands. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, we're getting feedback and comments from all over the country that we just never foresaw that happening. It's in Colorado, yay! I mean, we really never had a plan to distribute outside of Colorado. This just kind of opens up a new avenue for us.
We got into Beer Drop early in the pandemic.
It was actually right before the pandemic hit, so I was like, I have a solution. We can still be alcoholic.
Right. And it was funny because we immediately got 2 or 3 beers from Colorado. And I'm like, great, I can't get there currently.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys have done such a good job of Colorado's cranking out beers, man. Good Lord.
Very, very true.
And it's phenomenal, though, because so we're on the East Coast, we're in Virginia. To have a Colorado beer that doesn't really distribute is great, because I can't get it anywhere. I can't find it.
Right.
You just like being special.
I do. Fine. Yeah, I do. I do enjoy that. I enjoy posting it on Untappd and be like, oh, you guys haven't been here?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't checked this in yet?
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah, I was homeschooled. I apologize.
That's what we like to hear.
All right, what's next?
All right. Okay. Why is Beerwerks spelled with an E? A, typo when they submitted the paperwork. B, it's the German version. C, no one can spell Odyssey anyway. Might as well make it twice as hard.
I did struggle with that today.
And D, it's the correct spelling, aka everyone else is wrong.
I like the idea that it was a typo when they submitted the paperwork, but I also don't know how to spell it otherwise. So that may be a fault on my end.
Like, Beerwerks.
I'm going to go with C on this one, just because of how many times I've had to write out Odyssey.
Right, exactly.
Every time.
When I tagged them on Twitter today, it took me 47 times. Granted, I was driving and drinking. No, I'm kidding.
That was the least of your problems with spelling.
Right, exactly. Well, Vera went with C, and damn it, now I'm torn. I'm gonna go muddle a putt on this one. I'm going B.
Oh, we got another person.
Andy also said C. God. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Muddle a putt. Correct.
All
Obviously,
right.
it's the German version, right?
Well,
it's sort of B and C.
Yeah.
The real answer is C. The real answer is C. Like Odyssey, when we put that in, like people will remember the name, they won't remember how to spell it. And Beerwerks, we thought about doing Beirwerks to make it more of a German, to make it more of a German thing.
Sorry,
We thought, well, that's going to really mess people up.
Yeah, that would have been awful.
And we don't do just German styles.
Right.
So it's kind of a compromise. We're like, well, no one can spell Odyssey anyway. Let's just throw an E in Beerwerks.
It's all E's.
And it makes it easier when you're giving out email addresses and stuff. It's like Beerwerks. It's all E's. People go, what? Like, think about it. It's all E's. So
Yeah, but it is. We get Beerwerks with an O all the time, and also people just get it completely wrong and say Odyssey Brewery, which we are a brewery, but that's not our name. So, but it is what it is.
we need to do a T-shirt with just the way different people spell the Odyssey. I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to, as crazy as it sounds, there's got to be 10 different ways people have spelled it. So
Oh, for sure.
So how do you end up on Beerwerks over brewery, beer company?
I don't even know how I remember that.
gosh, just to go back to the dawn of the brewery when we were kind of going through all the names and naming conventions, and I think it was really just the way it rolled off the tongue and the number of syllables is like Odyssey Beerwerks, and we're like, it was better than brewing company, better than brewery. Just Beerwerks just kind of worked with Odyssey, and
Yeah,
there wasn't a whole lot of
we're
science
trying to be
behind it.
different.
There's more to marketing people going, well, that sounds
Yeah.
better.
That feels better. I
Yeah.
feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how everything is decided. It's
Yep.
two marketing people going, well, this is how you should sell this.
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
And here we are drinking it. So
Right.
well
Right.
done.
Yeah, it worked.
We laugh. We did live in Austin for a long time, and so when Austin Beerwerks
yeah.
opened,
Yeah.
they spelled Beerwerks with an E.
Yes.
Right.
We thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we have noticed at some point,
They changed
probably
it.
4 or 5 years ago, they changed it to an O because I think they were tired of people getting
Yep.
it wrong. we're a little more stubborn than they are. So
Yeah.
A lot of
Okay.
missed emails, you know.
We have more money. We don't want to spend all the money to change everything.
well, the
The
best part about our name is the email address. When we get
Oh.
solicited, when we get people calling for things, we're like, oh, just send it to info@odysseybeerwerks.com.
And we don't tell
And
them.
it goes
You don't
wrong
tell them
place.
how to spell it. So, see how much effort you put into figuring out how to spell our name.
Oh, I love it. There's a whole subsect of call centers in India that hate you people.
Yes. We
Yeah.
hate
Like,
them.
you shouldn't pick back.
What's the next question?
All right. I think this is the last one, and it's just kind of a opportunity for you guys to talk about your brewery itself, and then we can get into tasting. So, true or false, Odyssey is a 15-barrel brewery with 4 15-barrel fermenters, 1 15-barrel Brit tank, and bright tank. I obviously don't brew beer.
It's a bright thing.
And 2 30-barrel fermenters. I'm not trying out for Jeopardy, okay?
Yeah.
I can't even spell Jeopardy. No,
You can.
I can't.
Hold on.
I can
A
Google it.
15-barrel brewery,
Yeah,
4 15-barrel fermenters.
there's a lot of words in this one.
And 30. Well, everyone else says true, so true to me, I'm going false. Why would you lie about this?
Let me know.
I'm gonna go with the crowd. I'll just go with true as
Oh
well.
God, you sheeple!
You know it.
So
Daniel's right.
it's half true.
No, so that makes it false. Daniel's
So
right.
technically it's false.
Thank you.
We have a 15-barrel brew house. We do have 4 15-barrel fermenters and a 15-barrel bright.
Okay.
But we have more than 2 30s. We have 4 30-barrel fermenters and 1 30-barrel bright. So
And it's not enough.
I feel like this is NPR every time. Like by the time you watch this, it could have changed. So this information
We're
came
having
from
more
a week
room
ago,
for
it could have came.
Yeah, the
We're
reality
maxed
is
out in space right now.
the reality
Well,
is
we have been for
if we
years.
had more space, we'd add a couple 60-barrel fermenters, like another 15-barrel bright, and probably another 30-barrel bright. If we could give you a tour, we're bursting at the seams, and it's a challenge to get everything out of here that we need to get out.
I love it. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's
Yeah.
not a bad problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right,
Let's
so
go.
this
Well, I'm gonna go
smells-
pee first, though.
What?
Yeah, I gotta pee, man.
You
I've been
can
outside all day.
5
I've been
minutes.
working all day. I have to pee.
Okay.
This is a classic Daniel. You're getting this is
Every
a good show.
episode.
When Daniel
Every
has to pee during a middle of a show, it's
Now
the
you get to
best
see
one.
my short shorts.
Painting shorts. There's painting shorts.
So tell us about this beer. What are we drinking? What should we be getting?
Right.
So I'll go back when we opened the brewery. This was one of our first beers that we put on tap. I mean, it's been a staple since we opened. It's evolved a little bit. Back in the day, it's always been a classic American pale ale, but the definition of classic American pale ale has evolved over the last 10 years or so. So it's a modern take on an American pale ale. So this has got Cascade, Centennial for bittering, Columbus, and then in Simcoe. So those are the 4 hops we use in this beer. And again, like Centennial is for bittering. The other 3 are for flavoring or for aroma hops. And so you're going to get a little bit of a citrus, a little bit of piney, more hop forward than, and I hate to say out of balance. When I think of balance, I think 50-50 hops and bitterness. This is definitely a little more bitterness than the malt backbone. But yeah, this is, we just, I think on the can now, we even say Ghost Drifter is the beer that the Odyssey crew drinks the most. Hop forward, flavorful, easy drinking, and great anytime. I mean, that's really the head brewer, the assistant brewer, and me. This is the beer when you go, okay, what's your desert island beer? For us, it's probably this. You can drink this all day, anytime. Spring, summer, fall, winter. This is a beer that we all love.
It's definitely the most popular beer with our mug club and our regulars. They drink this all the time. Number 1.
We talked about this on past episodes too, because Phil's not or has not been familiar with the Mug Club. Tiffany and I have a lot of breweries and some really good ones around us that are nationally distributed, and so we're Mug Club members at most of them.
Nice.
And Phil was like, "Mug Club? What's in it for me?"
What is this mug club?
Oh man, our mug club, we spoil those people.
Right. I was gonna say everyone's is different. So what's going on with your mug club?
So ours, when they come in, it's an annual membership, January to December, and they can renew every year. And we only open up new spots for people, that haven't renewed. So we don't keep adding and adding. We want to keep it to a certain amount. And for the money they get to drink out of a 20-ounce mug for $1 less. So normally our pours are 16 ounces. So they get 4 extra ounces of beer, and they pay $1 less for that. They get a free crowler every month, a free 32-ounce crowler. I can't talk. We just had our annual Mug Club barbecue, which was great.
She's underselling the Mug Club barbecue.
I'm not done.
The Mug Club barbecue was spectacular. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, don't forget we're in Virginia, so barbecue in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yours?
So I hear you. I grew up in Texas, so.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's right.
We know good barbecue, and the person that does our barbecue, Jim Jam Jimmy is his name.
Okay.
He's a
That's
good
his
guitarist.
first, middle name, and last name, Jim Jam Jimmy.
That's his stage name.
His
He's
stage
also
name.
a rockabilly performer.
He's a rockabilly performer.
Oh my God, a rockabilly performer?
Yes, but
That's-
he
I
is.
love this guy. I love this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an amazing chef, an amazing cook, and he has modeled his barbecue after Franklin Barbecue in Austin. So
Oh, nice.
if anybody asks us what's the best barbecue in Colorado, we're like, well, our friend's barbecue is actually the best.
You know, from Texas.
One of the secrets
He catered that for us.
of Austin, Texas barbecue is using post oak, which
Yes.
is not available in Colorado.
Correct.
He's crazy enough. He takes his truck and a trailer up to Colorado to get post oak to make his barbecue.
Oh,
So
nice.
Yeah, it was great. And then we do some other stuff for Mug Club throughout the year. They get early releases for beer, for some beers. we have meetings throughout the year, and
I was gonna say, have you guys been able to do any like mug club like events despite COVID? Like,
We just had the barbecue.
Yeah,
but like earlier.
So we did skip the barbecue in 2020. Like that's when everything was still like, no, we didn't know as much about the virus then, right? How it was transmitted. So we did kind of skip some stuff in 2020, but we're trying to make up for it this year.
So occasionally we do like a state of the brewery, like every 2 or 3 months. So we just have everybody come in and they can ask any questions they want. We give everybody free beer, just kind of hang out and get to know each other. And our mug club is famous for all knowing each other.
Yeah.
And we have a large segment of people that are like, well, anytime we have a party or a wedding or whatever, 90% of the people there all met
through.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Well, that's always my favorite part about the beer community in general is that if you stick around long enough, like it kind of takes care of itself in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And if you're good to the community and the community backs you on that, like, yeah, you have a community of friends and family that maybe you've met, maybe you haven't met, but they all come together on that same page.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
I think if we'd been open a year or two when COVID craziness happened, we might have had a little more trouble. The fact that we had 7-8 years of community behind us, it helped us a lot.
Yes.
We had a lot of support.
Yeah,
so
it was great.
very humbling, very cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so before we let you go, I'd love to know what beers you have. Like, what's your next exciting new beer that's going to be coming out?
How much
Pumpkin one. No,
How much time did you have? No.
So we have one. So we've kind of started doing a low ABV barrel age series.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yes.
You still get all the flavor of the barrel, but the beer is still lower. It's not going to be 12%. So the first one we did was our barrel aged brown ale. So the brown ale is only starting at 4.5%. The barrel is only.
Wait, didn't Chris make a brown ale joke earlier about homebrew, and that's your first barrel aged?
The first brown ale we've done in years.
So true story. Our assistant brewer.
Oh yeah.
It was, we're like, what beer do you want to do on your first batch? He's like, you guys never do brown ales. You never do them. So he made a brown ale, and everybody loves it because, it is
brown ale. Everyone loves brown ale.
It's a really good beer, and all of our customers give me crap all the time because we don't do enough browns and ambers. Not really my thing, but they're good beers.
So that was the first one. Back to focus.
But then we put put it in barrels.
Yeah, so that was the first one. So the next one we have coming out,
bourbon barrels for that one.
We have we took our blackberry sour, which is part of our Light Bright series, spelled BRITE, like a bright tank.
Right. Like a bright tank.
Yeah, that was for Tiffany. I mean it nice.
Well, nice, guys. I guess.
She's like, we did a blackberry sour. We put that in a bourbon barrel just to age for a couple months. So that's going to be coming out tomorrow.
Well,
and then
you missed.
No, the next one is. What did I miss?
Don't you question the marketing person at your company?
She's got the dates. She knows all the stuff.
The next one is called Gin Yo Face. It's a
Gin Yo Face.
Gin Yo Face. It's a gin barrel aged crushable IPA. So it'll all also be low.
They're all in like the 4.5% range. If you've never had a gin barrel aged pale ale or IPA,
I have not.
It's really good.
They're so good. They're just delicious.
Yeah.
So we're going forward with that. We have another
Oktoberfest is coming out September 18th, and we always have the mayor of Arvada come tap the first keg, which is similar to how they do it in Germany. They have like the Grand Poobah.
Yeah, I mean a well-respected local figure.
Yeah, they always. So we have the mayor of Arvada come do that, and we give the first beer free out of that little keg. So that's fun.
Yeah, that little 7-gallon keg.
Yeah. So that's what we have coming up next.
We brewed a Doppelbock today. So Doppelbock will be ready in about 2.5 months. What else we got coming?
The Old Dodge Red Ale, which is we do it for our Arvada firefighters every year. It's a fundraiser that they started, and we've been contributing to. So that'll be out the beginning of October as well. So.
Nice.
Sounds so good.
And if you get the fluffy pumpkin and you like that, So the next in the series we started last year is we figured everybody really liked that beer. So we did a fluffy gingerbread. So it's a gingerbread molasses.
Why are you talking to Tiffany? I'll take one.
Yeah, gingerbread molasses. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong.
I'm fine with it, bro.
Yeah. And then
we got a Baltic Porter coming out later. So yeah, we got some good winter stuff too.
So, question: are those going to be available via Beer Drop?
we hope so. If they want them, we'll sell them to them.
They already took Fluffy Pumpkin.
The fluffy pumpkin,
Yeah, they
for
should have
sure.
them.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right, we'll get that on there.
Good. So we can do a follow-up with you guys. We'll do a short follow-up with the Fluffy Pumpkin. And we'll do a short interview with you, and let's try the Fluffy Pumpkin.
Yeah, we'll just do a quick 15-minute tag up of let's talk about this beer.
Listen to this one. We'll do a quick tag up. Guess who also worked in the same industry you're familiar with? We'll do a quick tag up.
Still working in it, and that's fine.
No one cares.
We'll sync up.
Yeah. That being said, I'm in this industry, beer-wise, for two things: beer and hats. So, how do I purchase one of your hats?
That's a great question.
We just sold a hat. We have more coming in, but it's just taking a long time to get everything right now. Everybody's materials are delayed.
Yeah, we're kind of on a friendship level.
How
do I get a hat?
If you find one, I would send it to you. As soon as we get new ones in, we'll send you one.
We can blame it on COVID, but the reality is, in the list of priorities,
hats are low.
But we do. It's on us. It'll probably be another month or two before we get some more hats.
Well, if that's the case, I'll just send you $100. Send me the hat. If it's only you and I gotta wait a month, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Literally, there are no hats.
Yeah.
There are no hats.
There are no hats.
I love that you pointed at the tanks. There are no hats.
Just tanks.
There's no room.
Just
We got
tanks.
no room for hats.
Oh, I love it.
Give them one of yours. It's all sweaty.
Yeah,
and
you don't want one of my hats.
I don't think you want that one.
I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, it's got some wear on most of my hats.
I like it.
Yeah.
At least it's got a hair underneath of it. That's impressive.
You should have seen it a month
Oh,
ago.
she had long hair. We just cut it not too long ago.
My hair was down to the middle of my back
it was
about a
probably
month
as
ago.
long as mine.
Oh my
Whoa.
God, are you serious?
Yeah.
But we did. But it turned into.
What'd you say, Tiffany?
I said, do you feel so much lighter whenever
Yeah,
I
Well,
it's cooler.
It turned into like a huge thing around the brewery, like how long my hair was, and everybody's like, "Oh my, you love it, hate it." There was lots of comments about it, and I said, "You know what? Tell you what, we'll do a competition, and we'll put it up for a vote, and dollars are what you use to vote." So we raised $1,200 for Pints for Prostates for me to get my hair cut.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I'm trying to find a picture. The style that
And you
won
got
was
your prostate checked, which
mullet.
is nice.
What's that?
And you got your prostate checked.
Yeah, I win.
$1,200.
Everybody wins.
But it was so funny, like if you guys care so much about my hair, keep your money where your mouth is. So
Why is your money on your
Here's the style that won. I don't know if you can see it. That's,
Oh my God!
that's the Swayze.
Yes.
You look like Billy Ray Cyrus lost a fight.
Yeah.
to Miley.
That's the Swayze mullet that won.
yep.
You look like a guy from
And
Roadhouse.
here's the before. That's the before. See how long?
That is
I
long.
know.
Hold on, Billy said you look like a guy from Roadhouse, which is an immediate Patrick Swayze quote, which I'm nervous to put on the internet, but you look like a guy I used to do stuff to in prison.
There it is.
Just for the record.
No. Okay. The wavy mullet, I'm for. The long hair, I see where they wanted you to cut it.
Yeah, you wanted me to cut it. Yeah.
Hey, I haven't seen his hair this short in at least 2 years, maybe 3. So it's nice. I have like a new husband.
We didn't have to get divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Oh,
we
thanks for rubbing it in, asshole. No.
Well, you're welcome to come on our long hair podcast that we do on Friday nights, where we talk about long hair.
Long hair.
nice.
Yeah.
You're a man of many talents.
Not according to my ex-wife. Do you want to keep going down there? No, just... Now, seriously though, I actually really appreciate you guys being on. Like,
Thank you so much.
No, thanks for having us. This has been
I was
fun.
excited about this beer because it's an American Pale Ale,
I
which
love
is.
American.
Well, what did you guys think? I didn't hear
We're
what you
gonna
guys
talk
said.
about it when we're
Oh,
done.
we're
Well,
gonna
we'll-
post that
we'll
separately.
watch
so
it
you're
when
not
we're
involved.
Hold on. I have good reviews, so I will share.
All right.
So
1.75.
Stop it.
Perfect. That's out of 2, right?
It is.
Correct.
No. So this smells amazing.
Correct.
There's like a really like the bitterness that like lingers is not like a a bad bitter. Like, you know how you have a beer that's like too bitter and you're like, ugh, I can't drink anymore. It almost like ends up being like sweet, like it tastes like citrus. I love this beer. So
Well, I didn't realize. I forgot. She told me that you guys are gonna do it after you kick us off. So I don't want to rain on the parade. So
No, it's fine.
We did review in
For
front of John
everyone
Mel,
else
so-
that's listening, my review will be very different in about. No, but
Everything I just Thank
this is a
you.
great beer, and I see why this is like the standard drinking beer. It is. This is easy to have multiples of. It's not. It's not a one and done beer, which sometimes that's what you're going for. This is not one of them.
I'm not a big. Honestly, that's a lot of our beers are. We always say start with a fantastic base. So even the fluffy pumpkin and the fluffy gingerbread and all of those that sound all crazy, start with a really great base beer, and then go expand out from there. So, most of our beers are drinkable. I'm not a big fan of most beers that, I don't like sharing, so I don't want to share a 16-ounce beer with 4 people. Like, hey, if I can only have 4 ounces of it, I'm probably not that big of a fan. So, yeah.
I hear you. Or it's like instant heartburn because I'm over the age of 30.
Yeah.
So.
All right, gang.
Oh, thank you so much for having us on.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thank
you guys
you.
for being here.
We don't even have any more beer.
Sad face.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
You're at the brewery.
I know where I can get more. Thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers, gang.
Bye.
I'll be reaching out for hats.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Oh,
I love it.
I love when time flies by, and I was like not even looking to see how long the show was.
Well, I'm just over here circling the mouse pad on the time frame, like, hey y'all,
He's the worst.
time frame,
He's the
time,
worst.
time.
He looks at me or he'll like nudge me,
a lot
like
of elbow nudging.
like he'll like and he'll like do a little circle, like
Yeah.
we're at
What's
30
crazy though
seconds.
is like I saw the time and I didn't care. I was like,
Yeah.
this is just I'm enjoying this so much and enjoying
That's one of my
hearing them
favorite.
talk about
Yeah,
it.
honestly, whenever somebody is on, like, it is, just talk to me about beer.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I love when people are like really passionate about what they're doing, when they're knowledgeable about like the different types of beer because they've been doing it for a long time, and like just the they said they left their jobs, right? Like people don't do that unless they're really passionate about something and they have the wherewithal to understand that like this is not going to be easy for the first couple years. Like this is like it's new, but let's push through it because we like it that much.
Correct.
So I always love talking to people.
And it's great that they still are having so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's you just see it and you're like, oh, what is it like to
Now-
just like absolutely love what you
I
would do
do
every
it's like
day?
my line of work, but if you sent hats, I hope they're still watching.
They're not.
God damn it.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get into this.
Yeah, we
beer.
gotta rate this beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
So-
we are gonna. Oh!
For those of you who are watching the show and not used to it, obviously this is our review time.
Tiffany's gonna take over.
Okay.
Go.
4. Go.
What are we reviewing?
The beer.
Ghost Drifter from Odyssey
From
Beerwerks.
Okay.
Beerwerks? It's called Beerwerks, right?
Yeah, Beerwerks.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a great text I got from you. Yeah. Thanks, guy who puts our show together. Yeah, it's Beerwerks. Beerwerks. Beerwerks.
Beerwerks.
You
So
guys-
Tiffany, you're giving it a solid 4.
I'm
Have
giving
you
it a
just
solid
said?
4. I really like this. I also really like pale ales, so I'm very biased when it comes to pale ales. But
True story.
as far as pale ales go, there is a really fine line of when things can become too bitter, because they're trying to kind of create that like distinction of like we're adding these hops in to like kind of overpower
Well,
the malt on purpose.
that's the separation of the IPA and the pale ale. though.
Right. And
It's
I
like-
think this has a really good. It's not like the piney, like punchy in the face bitter that you might find in an IPA that's kind of trying to overdo it.
And just so they know, the score is out of 5. They said they have not been on Untappd in years, so they're letting them know out of 5. That is a good score.
This is out of 175. You got a 4.
I
gives
should
it a
also
4.
point out then that I don't rate anything over like a 4.25 ever, because I think I've said this before, but if it doesn't equate to sex, it's not going to be a 5. Also,
Fair.
Yeah, about there.
Little does Daniel know he's a 3, but you know,
100% out of the same scale. 400.
Inches. All right, so Daniel, what are you giving this one?
I'm gonna go 3.75. I could
Okay.
go 3.81 if you could figure that math out, because I have that ability now.
Nope.
But I'll go 3.75. So it is. It's an extremely stable, easy drinking beer. Like, for me, the cutoff point is, would I have another one? Yes. Any day of the week. I'll have another one if this is what's available at the bar. Is it my favorite pale ale? Probably not.
Okay.
Problem solved. You, Phil.
why is it not your favorite?
Who fucking cares? It's my opinion.
I asked.
Next question. Phil. We can talk about that after this show.
So
Two ex-wives. We're not even married. Just
I'm gonna bring it up because I think that this show score deserves a solid 4. So I'm giving it a
You had like 3
4.25.
beers in your life. No.
I'm giving it a 4.25, and here's
Phil, I almost went with a 4.25 for the record.
good.
But-
So then, good. I think a solid 4 is a good score for us.
Great. Yeah.
The reason I'm giving it a 4.25 though is because I love the fact that they're pretty much like, look, we want you to have this beer and we want you to have this beer again. We want you to have this beer again. This isn't a beer that's got some crazy ass flavors that are gonna you're gonna get tired of. Like I will order a 6-pack of this beer and I will have this in my fridge, and it's so easy to drink.
Right.
And so for me, they accomplished exactly what they wanted with this beer, and I think I have to applaud that. And for me, I would drink it again and again.
Oh,
So-
you're a Texas governor. You get to speak for what people were trying to accomplish.
Look, we're not getting into this for this.
Are we? Oh,
We're
wishing
keeping
your beer
this
yet?
one lighthearted. So,
That
as a
being
show
said-
score, Ghost Drifter from Odyssey Beerwerks, they were so great. Solid
Yeah,
4, I think, for a show score. I think that's fantastic. It was a great
Absolutely.
beer.
We
I
very
would have-
rarely have anything over a 4 because we're assholes.
I
And
mean,
that's fine.
I was under a 4, but send hats.
Send large hats so they fit my head instead of
Yeah, please
You
send
do
me.
have a giant
send-
head.
It looks great on film now.
It does. It really does.
So,
All right, this is part of the show
what?
where I'm doing this intro. Tiffany stole the last one. This one's mine. All right.
This is part of the show where
Ah, I'm going on mute. So this is part of the show where we talk about something that we wish was beer, whether it's something that we wish was beer because we absolutely hate this something and we wish it was beer so that we could love it, or we wish it was beer because we love it so much and we just want to keep drinking it up. Tiffany, you go first this week.
Okay, so I actually had multiples. I
Like
wrote
you
them
guys
all down because every
pick
time
one.
every time we do this, I'm always like, and I freeze because all of a sudden I panic and can't think about it. So I did have 2. Actually, I had more than that. Would you stop showing
No,
me a
it's right
picture
here.
of me? There's a picture of me on his
You
phone.
sent me about it earlier.
I did not. I did not. You just showed me the time. Once again, it's either circling up here. Yeah, okay. All right, so my wish your beer, I'm trying to pick one because there's a lot this week. So I'm gonna go with something that I think everyone can get on board with.
Send
We vet, and it's actually relevant because talk about Jeopardy. We vet our game show hosts more than we do our own politicians or elected officials or Supreme Court judges. And that's crazy. I wish people just I don't know. I'm trying to relate this back to wishing it was beer.
Oh my
You
God,
wish it was beer so that you could better select the one you want?
I don't know. I
don't know.
I just have an argument about this, and I think it's dumb. And I like drinking beer, so somehow, if someone's smarter than me, relate that. But
we're waiting for Vero to chime in.
But the fact that we are like going into such scrupulous detail and then removing the person from that position based on a game show versus I don't know, Kavanaugh. I don't know. Literally anybody. Kavanaugh's what came to mind because.
He's not technically elected. Why do you wish that was beer?
I don't care.
No,
you wishes it was beer because then it wouldn't exist. Because then it would be beer instead of what it is.
Right. Exactly. You're up.
No, I'm
That's
not.
the best I can do.
No,
Daniel, you're up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go, Daniel.
Phil's up. You ready?
Probably the same thing as me.
You goddamn right it is.
Always.
I am so tired of this Rocket League horseshit. I wish Rocket League tournaments, which is a game on the Nintendo Switch for children, that me and Phil play together.
We did.
And we keep getting our ass kicked. I wish Rocket League tournaments were beer because guess what? I've never lost that to middle school children
drinking beer.
You're goddamn right. I haven't. I beat them in the ground every day on that. I rub it in their stupid little faces. However, they're flying around the goddamn globe, putting the ball in the net, and I'm over here texting Phil like, fucking hate that kid.
We lost 10 games in a row. The other night. We have been playing this game for a while. We should be better.
A long time, Hoss. I got a lot of skins on that vehicle. I've been playing a while.
We'll be talking more about Rocket League on our Rocket League podcast.
Friday night Rocket League podcast.
That's right before our haircut podcast. We now talk.
Which still hasn't happened.
For the record, Vero is way smarter than me. I wish people in Power Beer because then we would be very picky. I could rate them and people would listen.
Well, great.
Yeah, but still, everyone would still order the Bud Light, and that's the problem.
Granted,
that's
I got no comment.
This week, I wish our number one fan, who you've heard all night, Vero, was beer because Vero sent me this awesome shirt. And it's from Torch and Crown Brewery in New York. She also sent me some beers and sent me a mug that is that New York coffee mug.
Poltergeist.
And no, I didn't get the glass yet. Apparently, she lost everything, But from what I did get, I got. She sent me this coffee mug, the classic New York coffee mug, and this shirt and some beers. And when people send me beer, I wish they were beer so that I could enjoy them as well.
Oh, careful there. Careful there, Kavanaugh.
Careful. Yeah. Hold on. Wait. We're getting back to Tiffany's. God damn it.
Well, I wish I could just go buy a 4-pack of Vero and bring her home and say thank you. Just to say thank you.
I mean, she's not an American citizen. You can.
Stop it.
Oh, no, nobody?
Stop it. All right.
Vero.
Who I love. Apparently more than you currently. She wishes job interview questions were beer because then she would know all the answers.
Right, Daniel.
Vero's been trying to work her way through the interview process, and I haven't interviewed in over 4 years, and talking with her about it, I don't envy what you're going through, Vero, but I will be more than happy to keep giving you whatever I would like to hear if I was interviewing someone.
You sound like the worst culprit ever.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very helpful.
Whatever you want to hear.
No, I haven't interviewed in a decade, but let me give you advice.
Let me give you some advice.
No, as the interviewer, here's what I want to hear from an interviewee.
Well, it's different.
It works that way.
There we go.
Oh my God.
What are we doing next week?
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that we have another show next week. Next week, we are doing Hopped and Loaded from 105 West Brewing Company. I'm guessing there's going to be hops in this one.
But are you
Do you
sure
think it's a smorgasbord?
Smorgasbord. I literally when we talked to who we talked to, we were like Two Beer Tiffany.
Oh God,
that was Rails In.
It started with Rails In. We've been trying to pitch that.
We're trying to pitch it everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Now I hope there's another new beer that comes out
Yeah.
We got time.
We just need a Wish You Were Beer series. And it's not like a specific brewery that does a series of Wish You Were Beer beers. It is just all of the breweries picking up whatever we've thrown out as a suggestion.
On board.
Wouldn't that be great if we had theme beers for all of the things we do? Like, oh, that's on our beer podcast.
Right. That's our normal beer podcast.
No.
It's on Thursdays. Oh shit! Right now?
No, when that happens, that's how we know we've made it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we officially have a series of beer, not just one beer like an offshoot. No, it is multiples. We're a pretty big deal.
I love it.
Move over, Untapped. Our podcast is better.
Also, Untappd, if you could reach out to us, it's
Yeah, right.
Wish You Were Beer. Daniel,
Joe.
Phil.
We've tagged you.
In everything, they don't care.
They didn't
But-
like us.
Who wants to close us out? I did the third one. First off, I just want to say thank you to Odyssey Beerwerks, I believe is what it's called.
It's beer. Yeah.
Oh, Beerwerks?
Yeah, it's a
Beerwerks.
soft J.
Got it. Okay. I just want to thank them because I think that was just so great that they came on. And man, I want to go to that brewery. That's just
Right.
That's my thing.
I'm
I
like,
say that
wanna
every
see it.
time.
I want to see how cramped it is, and I want to do your vinyl night.
Right.
Oh my gosh, vinyl! Where did they come up with that concept?
That's fine.
I love that.
We need to encourage local people to be on board with that. Also,
Yeah.
but do you want to hand over your vinyl to somebody else, put it on their record player?
No, ma'am, not mine.
That's not. I was like, ooh,
Send hats though.
or stickers.
Odyssey, send hats. I don't know how more I can say this.
So Phil, when we're like breaking this down, I need you to just put the clips
Send
of
hats.
Daniel asking for hats. It is just a 5-minute compilation.
Oh, I remember a beer we first send hats.
How's that Provincetown Brewing hat? That thing fit good?
Honestly, no one has let me more down than Provincetown because I still don't have a hat.
Just gonna have to go there and get it. Go for Dyke Night.
Ma'am.
All right.
See what I did there?
So, for everyone who is still watching, one, thank you. You are true.
You're an idiot.
You're true dedicated Wish You Were Beer fans, and eventually we're gonna come up with some stickers or something and send them
One
to
day
you.
we're gonna pay you for drugs.
No. So if you are still watching or care, which you should, please make sure to like and subscribe and share with all your friends and tell them how cool and funny we are and our content's great. I lost my train of thought because once again, too rare Tiffany.
Like, subscribe.
Thank you.
Don't leave comments about Tiffany's comments.
Right. Do not.
And-
I'm not running for public office.
guys, thanks for the show. What a great show.
Why you don't let me close things out? I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got to turn you off now.
Yeah.
Hey, Tiffany, why don't you try it one more time? Try closing us out. I'll
No.
let you give it. Go
Let-
for it.
Get
Ready?
down to business.
No, Tiffany, close it out, please. I just want you to.
You should subscribe.